Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Happy Monday. Today is November 1st. It's the first of the month. It's also NFP week. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Let me go set this room up real quick and then we can get started. So let's see. I'll set up right here. A lot of things over here as we go along. Right there. All right, cool. That's all set up right there. I'm going to go and send out the link here for you guys here in the premium. So let me get this link sent out right now. It's over. All right, perfect. The link has been sent out. Let's wait for people to make their way in. Sorry, I'll turn this thing off, the Apple Watch. I got that all figured out. Let me start letting people into the room real quick. All right, cool. People are making their way in right now. So as people make their way in, we will get started shortly. All right, so everyone's still making their way in right now. Let me just finish setting this up over here. I think we're good for the most part. All right, looks solid. There we go. All right, guys, good morning. So people are slowly making their way in. I'm going to give it a few more minutes before we get started. And then we can kick off our trading month. So I'll give it a few more minutes and then I'll just go over what I just went over like a few minutes ago. I just want to make sure everyone is aware of everything to expect today. So you got about half the people in here right now. Give it a few more minutes. Let me just go and check everything else right now. I think there's some, obviously there's a lot of news this week. It's NFP week. So this morning we have ISM manufacturing PMI at 7, construction spending, ISM manufacturing prices, tentative loan officer survey. And I think that's it for the US news this morning. So there's not really too much, but this week in general is going to be a bit crazy. All right, guys, so people are making the win right now. Morning, Lisa, morning, Essa, morning, Kenny, morning, Peter, morning, everybody. So I'll give it a few more minutes for everyone to make their way in. It's 6:21 right now, so we have about 9 minutes till market open. I gave it like maybe another minute or two, and then we'll start analyzing. So guys, good morning, everybody. It's November 1st. It's the first of the month. So there's a lot of things to look out for today, guys. First thing, it's the first of the month. Usually the first of the month market gets kind of crazy. Because a lot of new option contracts are released, and there's just a lot of stuff that goes on the first, guys. So like usually the first and the last day of the month, the market gets kind of crazy because like people are, options are expiring, new options are opening. Also, it's NFP week, so there's a lot of things. First, it's first of the month. Second, it's NFP week. Third. Sorry, I can't really think of the third one. I was thinking of it a little while ago before we started the session, but when it comes up to mind, I'll mention it. But the main things to look out for is that it's NFP week. So if you guys aren't familiar with NFP stands for non-farm payroll. They release the unemployment data this week. So you can see all throughout the week, there's unemployment data that's being released, right? So if you just scroll down, Friday is going to be the most volatile day, but this entire week is going to be pretty volatile. So right here, you can see for US, we have the average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and employment rate. So basically what they're going to be doing is they're going to be releasing the unemployment data pretty much all throughout the week. You can see on Thursday, there's like little news that gets dropped all throughout the week. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims and then actual unemployment day on Friday. And then Wednesday, there's a lot of heavy news. So pretty much, and there's also FOMC statement. So this week is going to be very volatile. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Either a good thing where it's just a smooth move in either direction, or it can be bad where it spikes in both ways. If you guys are trading pre-market or London session, you guys already saw what happened here, right? So you guys saw during Asia session, it kind of dumped around a bit. So it came up, dumped around a bit right here, and then London it just shot all the way back up, and then it dumped right back down right here. So you can see the volatility in the market already. So if you guys are wondering, what's going on in the market, it's the first of the month and it's NFP. So you guys can see how choppy it is. If you guys look at retail sentiment, it's currently 77% short, but you can see price is still bouncing around, right? So like from right here, London session, it spiked up pretty heavily, and then it came right back down right here as we got closer to US session opening. So when the market does open, we can expect a couple of things. I think overall the market is going to be bullish today, but we might get a lot of fake outs and manipulation. So what might happen here is you might see price come down, like spike down pretty heavily, and then it'll just come right back up eventually. I'm still looking for a bullish move, looking at the fundamentals over here, it's currently at 113 points or 116 points in the green. There's also, let's see, world leaders address delegates at the COP26 climate summit. Okay, I think if this is today. Okay, so this is also what's affecting the market. So there's a lot of things. This is actually what I was going to refer to earlier. So it's the first of the month, it's NFP, and they also have the COP26 climate summit. This is actually happening right now. So 90 minutes ago, they agreed that G20 must lead efforts to reduce emissions, with the UN and whatnot. And they're discussing right now. So Boris just spoke at like 8:39. I guess Biden's going to speak shortly as well. So this is something to keep in mind. The past couple hours, you guys can see exactly what's going on here. And they have like this picture over here with all of the leaders, Biden, Justin Trudeau, and pretty much all the other countries that are involved in it, Putin as well. So all this stuff is going on. You can see this has been going on for like the past couple hours now. So 4 hours ago, about 7 hours. It started about 7 hours ago. So during London session, it started, and it's still going on now. So this is the third thing on the list that you want to be looking out for, because it's going to be updated regularly. Last update was 90 minutes ago. Probably another update's going to happen soon. So you guys just want to be careful. If you guys don't need to trade, then don't trade today, and just be careful this week. Or if you do want to trade, maybe lower your lot size or be a little more careful with whatever positions you decide to take, because there's just a lot of stuff that's going on in the market, behind the scenes that you might not be aware of that can easily affect your positions. So just keep that in mind. Market is opening in about 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to analyze US 30. We'll see what's everything looking like, and then we can kind of determine where price is going to go. But for me personally, I think price is going to be bullish, but I don't think it's going to be a smooth move up. It's going to be bounce back and forth. So something to just keep in mind. So retail sentiment right now is currently 77% short. So we obviously want to be trading opposite of retail traders, which is long. Looking over at the futures data, it's currently 116 points in the green right now. So it's obviously very bullish. Everything is pointing towards the upside for us. But we'll see what happens when the market actually opens in the next 4 minutes, where we can make the decision where to trade. Looking over here at the 1 minute for the technicals. Now for a technical bias, this looks like it is, it was bearish, and then now it's starting to shift to the upside. So as you guys can see right here, price is a bit indecisive because current price is slightly bullish. However, the trend meter is currently red. It's turning blue, so it might be shifting. Going over to the 3 minute, it's currently in a bearish bias. The reason for that is because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Looking at the 10 minute, same situation. Well, not really, actually. It's just right down the middle. So it was actually bullish, but more recently it just became bearish. Now it's pretty neutral. It's just going down the middle of the pivots, and the trend meter is also green. So for the technicals right now, it's very indecisive. You guys can see clearly it's pretty indecisive. There's like no real direction set. The higher time frames like the 10 minute and the 1 hour are bullish, obviously, but the shorter time frames, 3 minute and 1 minute, are attempting to make its way to the upside. However, it's starting to drop lower right here. So as you can see, I think what's going to happen in the beginning is price is probably going to come down slightly, or maybe even more, but eventually it's going to swing back up. I think the eventual move for today is going to be bullish, and then that's going to set off the week. Usually the market wants to kick off the months on a good note, right? They want to start positive so that people have, morale's up and people feel good about the market. So today is November 1st, obviously, first of the month. So that's why I do expect it to close bullish today. as well. But we really won't know until we know, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the market. It's not just, a lot of people think just because this is US 30, you should only focus on US things. The COP26 climate settlement, this affects everything. It's not just the US, it's not just, certain countries. It's pretty much all of the leading countries in the world that pretty much, determine what's to be focused on. So we got this going on. We got the first of the month. We have NFP this week. There's just a lot of stuff going on all throughout the morning. So market is opening in about 1 minute. Once the market opens, we'll confirm the fundamentals, and then we'll see what direction we'll be trading in. So let me just scroll over here. Morning, Miles. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Matt. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Hap SD. Morning, Sam. Morning, David. Morning, Delmas. Morning, Peter. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. Morning, all right. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. If you guys are just getting here, I was just mentioning how risky this week is going to be because it is the first of the month. We have the COP26 climate summit, and it's also NFP. So there's a lot of things affecting the market this week. So market is opening in about 30 seconds. Once the market opens, we can confirm the bias, and then we can go and determine what our bias is going to be for this day. So that's it for the questions right now, guys. I just closed the chat. I'm going to be focusing on trades right now. Once you confirm the direction, we can trade there. So market is opening in about 15 seconds. Ten seconds. Market is opening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. So let's see what's going on here. Let's go over to the fundamentals real quick. I'm going to refresh this. Market is currently, refresh that one more time, currently 108 points in the green. It's currently reached a new all-time high today. Going over here, the entire index is completely green as well. There's a couple of red stocks down there, but not very many. It's very slightly. So the market is going to be bullish, just like I anticipated, right? I anticipated price to be bullish, and it's doing exactly what I just anticipated earlier as well. I mentioned price is probably going to come down, but eventually it's going to come right back up. So we'll see what goes on right here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a couple zones just to identify where rejection points may occur. I think that's it for right now. So as you can see right here, price is coming down just like we anticipated, but then eventually I do see it swing right back up. So we'll see if we want to maybe take the breakout. In order for us to get a breakout though, we need to get a strong green candle. So we already have a buy signal that's valid right now. We need a strong green candle to close above the pivots. Once we have that, we can take that for a buy. However, right now, if we get a sell, I'm not going to take the breakout for a sell. Obviously, I'm going to be taking it for a buy. So if this closes right here, then we can possibly take this for a buy. However, I'm going to be very careful with the positions I decide to take. For one, we're right at the Asia high. So, there's a lot of red flags already as we speak. Price needs to close above here. And I think what's going to happen here, even if it closes above here, this is a huge candle, so it might retrace down a little bit before it comes back up. So I'm not going to enter it right away, even if I do see it here. But yeah, technically this would be the breakout. But like I mentioned, guys, I'm not going to take it because it's probably going to pull back a little bit. It's too big of a candle. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put this right here, or if it's too late, then I might not be able to take it. But that is the breakout right there. So I'm not in the position right now, guys. I'm still watching it to see what happens because I do think it's going to come back down a little bit, maybe halfway, and then probably bounce off. This point right here, I don't want to enter it late. That's the main thing. I don't want to enter late and get in at a bad position. I'd rather wait for it to pull back and then get in for a discount. Then hop in, and then as soon as I hop in, it just pulls right back down. But it's being bullish exactly like I mentioned, right? So my analysis this morning, it just played out perfectly. I mentioned it was going to come down a little bit to fake out, and it's going to come right back up. The reason for that is because everything pointed towards the upside. The fundamentals were up, retail sentiment was short. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, I'm not in this position, guys. I haven't marked up, but I'm not in the position right now. If you guys are in the position, what I do recommend is when it reaches halfway mark right here, to move your stop loss and profit. But, just like I mentioned, guys, I'm not in the position. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to mark this with an alert so that you guys will be aware that is a halfway mark. So this is going to be breakout TP1. And as you guys can see, price is coming right back down, right? It's doing exactly what we anticipate, because that's usually what happens. You know, it's the same pattern that just repeats itself. If there's a big candle like this, it's going to have to retrace down a little bit before it comes right back up. So I'm not in the position still, guys. I'm just waiting, because I do think this is going to come right back down. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. You just want to make sure that you are being fully aware of how the market's moving. So as you can see right there, it's coming right back down. So I'm not in it yet. I'm going to wait for it to come down. And what I'm going to do is I'll put a buy stop. So I'll let it come down a bit, and then I'll put a buy stop there. So when it comes back up, it'll fill my order. But currently right now, I'm just going to keep waiting, because the last thing I want to do is enter this, and then it ends up reversing on me completely, and it never comes back up. Right. So yeah, it's just a game of patience. And I understand how the market's moving today. So I'm not trying to get caught in any of these fake outs. I think also the new all-time high was broken today as well. So it's currently breaking another all-time high, actually. So this is another reason why I would want to be careful, because it's currently at the all-time high. Right there. So it's 36.10. I think it just broke the all-time high again, or let me just mark it up right here. So there's a lot of factors in the market right now. 36.10. Okay, so it just broke a new all-time high. This is the all-time high right here. It's actually higher now. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of factors here. One factor is NFP. Another factor is the first of the month. Another factor, it's the climate summit. Another factor, it's all-time high. So there's just like, it's not a good time to be trading in this area, because, you know, when price reaches all-time high, generally what happens, guys, it comes right back down, right? So it'll come back up to it, you know, breaking the all-time high, and it'll just come right back down. So I'll just move this up. This is the new all-time high now. It's right above there. So I'm not going to enter this. I'll just watch it, but I'm not going to enter it, obviously. There's a new all-time high right there. And you can see prices just continuing up higher and higher. So it reached TP1, guys. So if you're in this breakout right now, I do recommend that you move your stop loss in profit, because it's at a new all-time high. It might just come spiking right back down like it is doing right there. So something to, you know, obviously be aware of. But we'll keep watching. 636 right now. So I don't think I'm going to be taking this breakout at all. What I'll be looking for is the next entry. So I'll put the requirements here for all the other strategies. There is the high-low scalp. Here's a 1-minute pivot. Let's go over here to the 3-minute. 3-minute daily. 3-minute pivot scalp. So a couple different entries that we're looking for here. This will be the snipe. I don't think there's any. There's a zone right here. Another zone right up here. All right, so, you know, just looking at the 10-minute right here, you guys can see how choppy this candle is, right? It's a huge wick on the top side, huge wick on the bottom side. There's no real direction that's been confirmed. It's kind of just bouncing back and forth. Here's the daily from Friday. It's still currently running, but I don't think anyone's in the position unless you're like trading a personal account, because you can't hold trades over the weekend off FTMO. But this is a daily from last Friday. It's still currently running. It's still in profit. So whoever is in that position still, I mean, it's still pushing up, but I'm not in it. So I'll mark this up right here as we look for the new daily entry as well. And we'll keep pulling back to that as well for whoever is in that position still. So going back to the 1 minute over here. See, this is exactly why I didn't enter the trade for the breakout, because it came right back to where we anticipated, right? I mentioned it was going to come down, maybe reject off the Asia high, and then possibly swing back up. However, at this point, I'm not going to take the breakout even if it does swing back up, because it's at the all-time high. So the last thing I want to do is enter this trade. It comes right back up, and then it just rejects off this point, and then comes back down. Or what I might do is I might go for a smaller move. Maybe I'll take the breakout, like a smaller move of it, and then I'll just catch I'll just go for a smaller move. So this is what I'll do here. I don't recommend anyone else do this though. So if you guys hear my things clicking, I don't recommend anyone, just jump into a trade just because it can easily just go the opposite way. So I just want you guys to be aware of that, because I know sometimes a lot of you guys just hear my MC4 execute trades, and then you guys try to hop in right away as well when you don't even know what's going on, right? Because sometimes I'll be looking at certain things in the market, and then you guys hear a click, and then you guys try to enter a trade, but you guys don't even know what I'm looking at. So yeah, I don't recommend anyone trade around this area unless you know what you're doing. Like for me, I'm like looking to possibly just catch little moves, because I do think it's going to probably push back up to here, but I'm probably going to have my TP like below here to get out really quickly. So let's see. And these are more advanced techniques, guys, right? Like, if you know what you're doing, then great. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't just try to copy what you see other people doing, because, you can easily get burnt. And another thing that I want to remind you guys is, don't worry about what other people are doing. I feel like a lot of people, they see people post profits and they want to copy exactly what they're doing. But you just need to focus on yourself, right? Focus on your own account, focus on your own trades, rather than focusing on what other people are doing and trying to mimic them when you're just not at that level of trading yet. Because I've been getting a lot of questions from people in the group. When people post profits, a lot of people don't even like posting profits anymore, because they get bombarded with messages when someone, sees that they're profiting consistently and they want to copy exactly what they're doing. So, all right, I just took this trade. Well, I'm not going to tell you guys what I took, but I did take a trade there, and I locked in a small profit of about 1,000. So went for 100 pips. Man, I only locked in partial though. It only gave me 850 off that. It's weird, but it's okay. Yeah, it's currently getting to a new all-time high right here. Price might break through it, but it might just bounce right back down. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mark up these highs and these lows so that we can possibly look for some certain entries over here. And what I do sometimes, guys, is, if you guys have been here for a while, usually if there's a position like this that's running, that's currently active, using any of the strategies, I usually trade within the move. So like, for example, here, we have the breakout here that's still currently running. What I do is I usually use other strategies to make entries here. So if you guys are wondering why I pulled into this entry here, is because I was applying the pullback strategy. If you guys are familiar with the pullback strategy, there's an opposite signal right here, and I caught it as it swung back up. So all these strategies are available to you guys, right? I know all these strategies by heart. So if you guys know all the K2 strategies, I'm like literally looking for anything that would apply for a buy here. And then I'm just taking entries as they come. So if you guys want to see what I did there, go back and watch the pullback strategy, the momentum pullback strategy, because that's exactly what I applied right there, where I made a small profit. I basically entered right here with the buy stop. And then I caught it for a quick little 100 pip move right there. And then I got pulled out. So let me see if there's anything else that I'm looking at. Yeah, Paul said, thank goodness I didn't enter the breakout. Yeah, I'm not going to enter any big moves right now. I'm going to enter small moves within the big moves. Like for example, here, the breakout's going for 500 pips. And it's risky because it's at the all-time high. So what I'm doing is I'm taking smaller moves within the bigger move. So let's see what else we got over here. But price is just dancing around the all-time high. This blue line right here is the all-time high, guys. So just keep that in mind. Well, now this is pink line. So I marked this up right here. And I'm only looking for buys right now. So you can see price is pushing up right here. It just retested the all-time high. So as you guys can see, perfect rejection, right? High right there. Rejection off it. And then it just came right back down. This is why it's important that you guys don't take any like crazy risks right now, because of this specific reason, the all-time high. So we'll just wait. And I'll just wait for it to swing back up. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to trade within this area, because price just keeps ranging within this area. So if I see any entries that come in through here, and obviously the market's moving really fast, so I'm trying to just understand, if there's any entries available. Like this right here, I wouldn't have taken this buy because it's so close to the all-time high. It's literally like, you can't even cover that with your spread, right? It's like 40 pips right there. So a couple key areas that I'm just looking out for are the all-time high. I'm also looking for any entries that happen below here. So if it pulls back, I'm looking for some sort of entry that pushes its way back up using any of the K2 strategy. If I see anything, then I usually just take it, write it up for a little bit, because I do think it's going to keep bouncing around this area until it like finally really breaks above it. Let's see, retail sentiment is currently 75% short. So a lot of people are pulling out of their short positions, or they're getting stopped out. Odds are they're probably getting stopped out because it keeps pushing past the all-time high. Because generally when someone enters here, so this is usually what happens. I'll go on a clean chart over here. Usually what happens here is people will trade for a sell. So like when it reaches an all-time high like this, what happens is people enter sells, right? So if they enter a sell, like say something like this right here, where's their stop loss going to be? It's going to be at the all-time high or slightly above it, right? So the previous all-time high was right here. Right here. So where would their stop loss be? Slightly above it. And as you guys can see right here, price comes up, it triggers in, and it comes right back down. And then when it comes right back up, like say, for example, if someone was entering another sell here, right? If they entered a sell, where do you think their stop loss is going to be? It's going to be slightly above the all-time high. So whenever price comes up and then it triggers these stop losses, what do you think happens with the retail sentiment? It lowers because the people that are short get stopped out and they get pulled out of the position. So right now it's 75% short. Looking over here, it's currently 177 points in the green. Looking at the daily average, it's currently 165 points in the green. Now looking at the actual Dow index over here, majority of the stocks here are green, obviously, right? So these are all overpowering the red stocks over here. The only real red stock right now that's really red is going to be Microsoft and Apple. Apple's only down 1 point, Microsoft's down 3 points, so it's not very much. It's it's slightly. These other stocks here outweigh these red stocks down here. That's why it's so strong right now for a bullish move. However, even though we're looking for a bullish move, we're not really looking to take anything just yet because price is bouncing off the all-time high right here. And I'm not in this breakout right here, guys. So, just a reminder, I'm not in this breakout. This is just what we marked up. Reason why we didn't enter it is because it was getting close to the all-time high, which is currently down here at that time. Now it pushed up a little higher and it just, double top off the all-time high right here, the new all-time high. So what I'm looking for here is I'm just looking for entries that come up as it swings back up. So we're not in this position. This is just a markup. So don't enter this and think that this is a position that you should enter because price is just ranging within this area. So these blue lines right here are the previous highs and previous lows. This is the previous high, which is the all-time high. And this is the previous low currently, or the current low right now, until it's established. So if 4 or 5 candles pass without breaking past this again, then this would be established as a low, and then it'll just continue ranging. However, if it breaks below, it's just going to keep going lower and lower as it continues to range. So we're waiting for any entries here, looking for any high-low entries, any pivot scalps. Same with here on the daily entries. I'll just mark this up right here. 630. And then same with the 10-minute here. So this technically right here is not going to be the the daily entry, because the daily entry would have to come after the opening candle. So this is a daily from last week, still running in profit. But we're looking for the one today. So, yeah, there really isn't much to look at right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the sessions from last week, or not last week, but from London, just so you guys can see how price is moving. So London session was right here. It's pretty bullish. There you go, London. So it was consolidating a bit and then it was bullish and then came back down right here and then another bullish swing right there. As we opened for a US session, or not US session opened right here at 5:30, but then New York Stock Exchange opened right here at 6:30. So I'll just mark this up right here so that you guys can see how price is moving. Obviously, there's no clear direction. Price came up and then it's coming back down after rejecting off the all-time high. I think overall throughout the week, it's probably going to swing back up, but I think right now, currently, it's just, it's doing what we anticipated earlier. We anticipate price to come down slightly and then shoot back up, and now it's coming right back down before it possibly shoots back up, depending on where retail sentiment is going to be sitting. And you can see a lot of people are entering shorts again. So it went from 77 to 76 to 75, now back to 76, because a lot of people are bandwagoning on this drop right here, which, I mean, it's the logical move to do, right? A lot of people see it bounce off the all-time high, and then they think it's going to come back down. But I think eventually it's going to swing back up. Obviously, The Dow 30 is a directional asset, so it's going to have to swing back up at some point. Okay, so like I mentioned before, guys, we marked up the low here. I mentioned if there was 4 candles that close past it, then it'll establish it as a low. However, it hasn't established it, right? So this is now the new low right here. And I'm going to take this off just to not confuse you guys, because I don't want you guys to think that we're still in this position here. The range is just bouncing around this area, and we're currently looking for possible swing back to the upside. So there's nothing here off the, I'll go from the higher time frames and then make my way down. So there's nothing here off the 10-minute. Go back to the 1 hour actually. All right, the 1 hour is still pretty bullish. You can see it's projecting off this pivot right here. 10-minute over here, no entry off the daily. This 10-minute over here, no entry off the snipe because there's no zones around that area. 3-minute, there's no entry off the daily because we need the first valid signal after market open here at 6:30. So nothing there. Nothing here for a pivot scalp entry either. Going back to the 1 minute, nothing here either. So as you guys can see, there's no entries that are available. We're waiting and watching for entries, but currently right now, there just isn't any entries available at this moment. We're just waiting for the, and we also have news. So just keep that in mind, guys. Currently right here, we have news coming up at 7. It's ISM manufacturing PMI. This is obviously going to affect the markets, high impact. So I'm probably not going to trade for a while. I'm going to wait for this news to pass. If you guys do have questions, I'll pull up the chat and then we can answer any questions that you guys have. But currently right now, I'm not going to be taking any trades because there is news coming up in about 10 minutes. The last thing I want to do is be in a trade, and then it ends up reversing on me as soon as news happens, which is going to be right here shortly in a few minutes. So let me scroll down over here and see. What I'm missing. Hey Jay, morning, David, morning, Delmas, morning, Sam, morning, everybody. So yeah, also HAP said that FOMC today. So just going over the news this week, guys, just to clarify, it is NFP week. Also, there is the Fed speaking for FOMC. And I think that's it. Yeah, so Friday we have NFP. Thursday we have unemployment claims. Wednesday we have FOMC statement, federal funds rate, the FOMC press conference, ISM. There's a lot of stuff on Wednesday, actually. Wednesday is probably the heaviest news day, Wednesday and Friday. So there's a lot of news happening on Wednesday. We're probably not going to have very much opportunity to trade, but we're going to try to trade within that period. They have the ADP and on-farm employment change at 5:15 that day. Final services PMI, ISM services PMI, crude oil inventories, FOMC statement, federal funds rate, and FOMC press conference. A lot of stuff on Wednesday over here. Tomorrow, not really too much. We have the tentative IBD, TIPP, economic optimism. It's light news, not really high impact. And then today we have ISM manufacturing at 7. So in about 90 minutes, the news is going to come out. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff to be looking out for. So, all right, going back over here. A new low is established. So you can see this was a low that we were waiting for. The next candle broke right through it. And now this is the new low down here. Sorry, guys, my mouse is kind of screwed up right now. Fix it. All right, so there's a new low and the high is still up here at the all-time high. So just keep that in mind. This is the all-time high. Let's put a little, I don't need to do it. You guys already know that this is the all-time high because I have it with the pink line. So currently right now we're still looking for entries, no entries available over here. I'll take this for the breakout. So guys, a couple of things that, or not breakout, for the daily entry, a couple of things that you guys need to keep in mind as well is if you guys see a huge candle like this, it's always, I mean, it's not always going to happen, but more times than not, it's going to, oh God, what's wrong with my mouse? Sorry guys, my mouse is right now. Let's see how I can fix this. For whatever reason, it keeps, when I left click, it right clicks. Yeah, whenever you guys see a big candle like this, usually don't enter it. Just wait for it to pull back a little bit because it usually pulls back. So like this candle right here technically would have been the daily right here for the 3-minute, which is an unfinished strategy. It's not even one that I personally use myself. It's one that one of our members here, Deswell, he uses this and he mentioned it to us and we've been just following it to see how it works. We're just forward testing it on the live to see how it works under specific conditions. But it's not an official strategy. So just looking at this, if you guys ever see a huge candle like this, and one thing that you can do is just measure it. if you measure the candle and it moves more than 500 pips, that's usually an abnormal candle, right? So like this moved almost 700 pips. And usually what happens is as soon as it closes, it just retraces back before possibly coming back down. However, I don't expect it to come back down because we're looking for the bullish move anyway. So even if I saw this for a sell, I wouldn't have taken it because I'm only looking for buys. The reason for that is because fundamentals are very bullish and, you know, price follows fundamentals. I don't really look at technicals very much anymore. I usually look at the fundamentals first. So if you guys remember my checklist, I look at fundamentals, then I look at retail sentiment to make sure everyone's trading and I make sure that I'm trading opposite of them. And then after that, I look at the technicals over here. So with this being a sell, it goes opposite of everything that I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for a buy here because I don't want to trade where the majority are trading. Majority of traders are short right now, and I don't want to be short with them. I want to be long. And another reason for that is because the fundamentals are green. So if the fundamentals are still 122 points in the green, then odds are it's going to swing back up. You know, this is just going to pull back slightly, but then eventually it's going to go right back to the upside and probably break the all-time high. But we don't know that until it happens. So until we get something that pushes towards the upside, then I'll take it. But currently right now, there's nothing for us to take. So let me go back to the 1 minute over here. The high is now down here. So we established that price is now in a new area. This is the all-time high area. And then price came down. Now it's currently just ranging within these two zones right here. So we'll be waiting pretty much. I don't think we'll have any pivot scalps coming anytime soon. So what I'll be looking for next is going to be this high-low strategy right here. Basically, I'm going to be looking for this to swing to the upside right here. If it closes above here, then I'll possibly take it. However, one thing to keep in mind is that this is the Asia high right here. So you want to be careful because what might happen is price will come up and reject off here and come right back down. So I'm technically looking for it to break and close above here. Not necessarily just below here because it's too small, but squeeze before it could possibly swing back down. It's only 60 pips. It's not enough for me to really make a big move off that, but that's the only entry that we really have coming up. Reason why I don't see any pivot scalp coming anytime soon is because price needs to close above these pivots. So if it doesn't close above the pivots, there's not going to be a pivot scalp. The price is so far from it that I just don't really expect it to happen anytime soon. It's about 300, it's about 400 pips before it breaks past the pivots for a swing back to the upside, which can happen within a few minutes, but it might not happen on this candle or the next candle. All right. So let me scroll down a little bit, see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, no problem, Main. Main said, morning, Shawn. Thanks for releasing the indicator once again. Definitely, guys. Hopefully you guys got a chance to play around with it. So this K2 high-low indicator, guys, I just released it to you guys yesterday. So pretty much everyone who has access to the indicators has access to this now. You guys won't be able to find it on the K2 page. You can't search for it. You have to look on your invite-only strips because it is a private indicator. So a lot of people have noticed that they can't find it. The reason for that is because it's not searchable. Let's see. Talanji said, I remember when sentiment was 75% short and stuck at the all-time high for weeks of manipulation. No, exactly, Talanji. And that's kind of what we see happening right here, right? What I see happening here is this drop happen. And then I can see the market makers, institutions waiting for more retail traders to hop onto the short side. So currently right now it's 75% short. I think this number, once this number increases to like maybe 80% or not even 80%, maybe like 78% or somewhere closer to that, then you'll see the spike back to the upside. But I think right now there's not enough people that they have ready to stop out. So we're probably just going to see a range for a bit. At 7, maybe that'll cause a spike in price one direction or the other, which will be good. But I would be careful. So just keep in mind, guys, that don't follow the move if you see a spike when news comes out. So news is coming out in about 3 minutes. When the news comes out, if you see a spike to the upside, don't hop into that buy just yet, because what could happen is that reaction will be based to the news and then it'll come back to where it originally was before the news, before it chooses its direction. So that's why I don't trade news at all. I use news as an indicator as well, you know, as to like where price is going, just to see how price reacts to the news release. But I don't necessarily ever chase the trade or follow it. I wait for market to react to the news, and then after that's happened, then I'll choose my direction if that becomes a proper direction or not. 6:58 right now. So the news is coming in about 2 minutes. I think that's the only one for today, right? Well, there's three. There's ISM manufacturing PMI, construction spending, ISM manufacturing prices, and then the tentative loan officer survey today as well. I don't think that's really going to affect the market too much. The ISM manufacturing is going to be the main one. Let me scroll down a little bit, see what else I'm missing. Fahad said news at 6:45 was negative. There was a high impact news at 7. Yeah, definitely. It's at 7 coming up shortly. Maine said, I'm so pissed. I don't know how I accidentally got into a buy. So weird. So Maine, if you're still in a buy, I mean, if you're still holding it, you know, there's a chance for it swinging back up. So you might not be in like a horrible position, but I would try to get out of that position as soon as possible because the news is coming up shortly in like about a minute, and price will spike either way. It doesn't necessarily need to spike to the upside, but I do see it coming back up eventually. So depending on how big your lot size is, if you can handle the move and you can hold on to it a little longer, I do expect it to come back up. It might not happen right now. It might not even happen today. But eventually it's going to come back up because retail sentiment here is just increasing. The more and more it increases on the short side, the bigger swing to the upside that I'm going to be expecting. So 75% short right now. What we can do next is we can start drawing like liquidity zones around these areas. So yeah, I'll draw these liquidity zones so that when price, if and when price just swing back up, you know, when price pushes above this area right here, you're probably going to expect a big push to the upside because a lot of people who are entering short positions right here, you know, as this number increases, as more people enter short positions, where do you think their stop loss is going to be? So say if someone chased this drop right here or chased this right here, right? Where's your stop loss going to be? It's going to be slightly above here, you know, maybe around this area. So when price comes back to this area here and all these stop losses get triggered, then you're going to see a liquidity push to the upside right there. But, you know, just like I mentioned, guys, we don't know when that's going to happen. It can happen today. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen in a minute now. Who knows? The market's going to be really unpredictable this week because of NFP, first of the month, also the climate summit that's going on right now. Currently, let me just refresh that. If it's still, I think it's still going on. It should be. Yeah, so 11 minutes ago, this was released, the update. Just a lot of stuff going on right now. There's just different world leaders that are speaking. And obviously it's going to affect the market. So you can see price spike down a little bit right here. Not sure if that was a reaction to the news or to anything else that's going on today, because there's a lot of stuff going on. All right, ISM manufacturing PMI was, I mean, it was slightly positive. It wasn't that as positive as, but it wasn't like a big move, right? Because previous was 61.1. They were forecasting to be 60.4. It was actually 60.8. So it wasn't as bad as they were anticipating. But, you know, we'll see what happens down. So the news happened right here at 7. And then now we're going to see how price reacts to that news event. And just keep in mind, guys, that price doesn't need to react exactly at that moment, right? Price can react a minute now, 10 minutes now, an hour from now. It doesn't need to react right now. If you see some unusual, you know, irregular price movement, then market is probably reacting to that news event. But currently right now, it's slightly moving. It dropped right here at 7. It's continuing to drop a little bit, but this can be, you know, some sort of a slingshot move. It can come down slightly. And then when people chase that move, this is why I never chase news, because if you chase news, you'll see price go one direction, then all of a sudden it just swings all the way back up to where price was before news happened, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, one thing to keep in mind is going to be this price point right here. So this is where price was prior to the news happening, right? This line right here. So all this movement here happened after the news event. What could happen next is one of two things. Price will either come back to this area. So price will either drop further, or price will come right back to the area where it was before the news happened. And then when price reaches this point, it'll do one of two things. It'll either completely reverse back up, or it'll just come right back down. Right? There's different scenarios that can play out. That's why you guys have to look at things and analyze things from different perspectives. A lot of people are stuck in just focusing on one perspective. There's like there's a million perspectives out there, guys. And that's why I never really knock anyone else's trading strategy or anyone else's trading system. You know, even though people come in and try to knock K2 every day, you know, you have to analyze things from different perspectives. You can't always just be thinking one-sided, because the market can do a lot of things. And it's good to have, a diverse view of like how price is going to move or what's likely to happen, so that you can be prepared for any type of movement in the market, right? Because if you're just looking for buys and it just keeps dropping, you're not going to know exactly you're not going to have any idea what's going to happen next. But if you're looking for sells as well and looking for when price is going to swing from that point, then you'll have a better understanding as to where to take your trade. Like for example, right here, I'm not looking to take any sells because everything's pointing towards a buy right now, but I'm also not looking to just buy at random because I'm waiting for the market to give me what I'm looking for. But right now, currently, everything is still very bullish. Looking over here at the order right now, it's only 75 points in the green. So as you can see right here, usually I look for it to be 100 points in the green or 100 points in the red. That's where my bias starts to change with regard to where I'm trading. In regard to fundamentals, currently right now it's under 100 points, so it's not very strong. It's not a very strong bias for a buy. Going over here at the Dow 30 index, you can see a lot of these stocks are starting to shift. So Microsoft was down 2 points earlier. Apple was down 1 point. Now a lot of these stocks are starting to turn red. So that's completely fine. If that happens right there, then that's fine. Price will probably continue to drop for the rest of the session, and then it'll probably recover tomorrow or recover later today. Who knows? During the Asia session, because you guys got to keep in mind that the market's technically open 24 hours with regard to the futures market. So even though the stock market closes later, the market's still going to be moving. And you guys can see right here, see how this big spike happened? Damn, this is a huge spike. So you can see price came down, and then now it's rejected right off this New York high from last week, the Asia low right here. And this is why it's important that you guys use all of these different confluences, right? I have all these indicators up for a reason. I created these indicators for a reason, because even though you have one strategy to follow, there's other confluences that you guys add on to it. So if you guys didn't watch the previous mentoring session, I do recommend you guys do that, because I gave it a checklist, literally a checklist of everything that I look out for. And if you guys go down that checklist, this is one of the things, right? This is one of the confluences that I look out for. I look at the previous session high lows. You can see price came down, rejected perfectly off the session high low, and then it's now swinging back to the upside. And I'm looking for a buy here. I'm still looking for a buy, even though the fundamentals are not very strong. It's currently 63 points in the green. I'm still looking for a buy here because the retail sentiment is still short, 75% short. So we'll see what happens next. But currently right now, there's no entry. So going back down the list over here for the daily, there's no entry available. For the snipe, there is currently no entry available because there's no rejection off the SR zone right here. Going over to the 3-minute over here, and no entry available. So this is the daily entry. It would already hit CP already, it looks like. But I wouldn't have taken it because I'm looking for a bullish push here. So yeah, if you guys took the daily entry right here, or actually, I can't remember what, oh yeah, it is fixed TP stop loss 500 pips. So, 500 pips. So looking at this right here, if you took the daily entry right here off the 3-minute, it would have hit TP. We're not going to count it obviously because I didn't take it. I only count trades that I actually take myself. So just going back here, this is a strategy that we looked at earlier. If you guys have been in the session from earlier today, I mentioned that this would have been the 3-minute daily, but I wouldn't have entered it right away because of the pullback, right? So this is usually what happens. You see a big candle like this, it pulls back, and then it just slingshots right back to where it's supposed to go. So that's a 3-minute right there. I'm not sure if Des will take it. Des, you might be here. I'm not sure. But if you are, it's a full TP off that 3-minute entry there. This is so another reason why this looked like somewhat of a good trade is because 2 of the strategies here applied. So the 3-minute daily would have been this one because this is the first valid signal after 6:30. Also for the 3-minute pivot scalp, this would be an entry as well. So this would be an entry for 2 different strategies, for the daily and for the 3-minute pivot scalp. For this, you want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. Right here, we have a valid sell. You want to confirm prices below the K2 pivots, which are these 2 lines right here. And with that said, you can enter on the open of the falling candle. So either strategy you applied, it would have worked out here, right? So whether you were applying the daily strategy, that's 500 pip profit. If you're applying the 3-minute pivot scalp strategy, that would have been a full TP right there as well. So that's another confluence that I mentioned during the mentoring session. Generally, if I'm taking a trade and it lines up with another strategy, then odds are it's probably going to hit. But I wasn't taking it because I didn't want to go against the fundamental bias and retail sentiment. So that's why I wouldn't have taken the sell, even though it looked like such a good trade. Going back to the 1 minute over here, there's still no entry, but you can see price is starting to make its way all the way back up. So guys, remember the line here that I drew? This is what happened before the news. So news happened right here. It dropped price. One of two things will happen at this point. I mentioned price is probably going to come back to where price was before the news event happened. And one of two things will happen. Price will break above it and continue pushing up higher, or price will reject below it and continue dropping right back down. So everything that I mentioned here, guys, is important. I'm not just giving you guys like random information. This is doing exactly what I just told you guys was going to happen, right? I drew that line earlier and look where price currently is. It's going back to that line. Because this move right here happened based off the news. That's why I don't trade news. I wait to see what happens, how price reacts to the news event. And then I wait to see whether price comes back to where it originally was, or if it continues dropping. I don't just enter a sell, because if you entered a sell right here, you'd have been screwed, because now price is currently so far up. So like say, for example, you chase this sell here, you're in drawdown like almost 600 pips now at this point. That's why you don't chase the move after news events happen like that. You wait for the confirmation as to where price is going to be going after. And it's swinging all the way back up. Looking over here, let me refresh this. And as you can see, the fundamentals are back above 100 points, right? So pretty much everything that I told you guys was going to happen today happened. And I wouldn't consider that luck, because I do this every single day. So you guys see that my analysis here is starting to play out. I'm not in the position. I'm just waiting for something to come up so that I can take a trade. But you can see right here, price reached the price point where price was before the news event. So as you can see, price came up, rejected exactly off that line that I drew. It's not a coincidence, guys. I see this stuff all the time. It's the same patterns that just repeat itself. And you can see right here, price is starting to come back down, right? So now what you want to look for here is you want to wait to see whether the price breaks above and continues pushing up higher, or if price swings right back down. So yeah, pretty much everything here. All right. Hey, Samir, how's it going, man? Yeah, definitely. Samir said congrats on another indicator, Shawn. Definitely, Samir. I didn't realize you're even in here. But yeah, guys, all these indicators that I create for you guys, these are all used for specific reasons, right? There's no holy grail indicator. Like all of these are used for different things. Like, some people have issues identifying high lows. That's why I created the high low indicator. Some people have issues identifying the previous session high lows as well. These are just the current high lows, but these previous session high lows are different. Everything kind of has its purpose. I don't just create indicators for no reason. I create them because they make trading more efficient and beneficial for everybody. So these are all just like little tools. They're basically just like training wheels for you guys, because once you guys are able to identify this stuff on your own, you don't need these indicators anymore. And this is just meant to help you guys with learning to basically train your eye what to look out for, right? Because I can see all this stuff without these indicators. I created these indicators just to make trading easier, so I don't have to go and look for certain things. But if I took all this stuff off, it's not very difficult to identify where the swing highs are, right? Swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. It's not that difficult, but for some people it is difficult. That's why we need to, well, we don't need it, but it helps with a lot of difficulty in identifying, exactly where those things are placed. So, all right, you can see price is starting to come right back down. Price comes up and it comes down, and it's still bouncing around this area. So what you guys want to look for is for price to either break below it, or come back down, or swing back up. But looking at the fundamentals over here, it's just swinging right back down. So it was above 100 points. Now it's only up 84 points. It just keeps bouncing around as we see it. Refresh this right here. It's currently 76% short. So that's completely fine. As price continues to drop lower. So what I'm waiting for here, guys, is now I'm waiting for price to, and this is the new high. If price continues to drop down lower, I'm going to create another liquidity zone around this area, because you can see a lot of people probably entered some sells and their stop loss is going to be placed above here. So that's why I'm going to have this identified as another liquidity zone for you guys. So yeah, Samir said break and retest on the 1 minute of a descending trend line breakout. We wick here and can break out to the upside. No, exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for, Samir. Me too. I'm looking for the buy. I think we're both looking for the same thing here. I do see the rejection right there off the wick as well. And I did see it reject off the New York high and Asia low over here. So I'm just waiting for this to swing back up. So I'm drawing these areas here because this is where I identify people placing their stop losses, whoever's chasing the sell, so that when the stop losses get triggered, obviously it's going to go on a stop loss hunt, which, we would consider liquidity. And then it'll just continue to push up higher and higher. So no, I agree with you definitely 100%, Samir. Just waiting for this to swing back up because my bias is still a buy. I usually don't trade in the direction of retail traders. So with all the retail traders short, we're only expecting price to go one direction. Eventually, might not happen now, but eventually it'll happen. All right, guys. So I'm going to scroll down the chat real quick, and I'm going to see all the questions here that I missed because it looks like I did miss a couple questions here. But what I'm going to do first is I'll go down the list, and I'm going to see if there's any trades. Rick said, I don't like your shirt. This is a scam. LOL, no YouTube today. Thank God. Yeah, I'm not streaming on the YouTube anymore, guys. I'll share the stream every once in a while, but I'm not necessarily, openly streaming on the YouTube. I'm just going to, main focus is here with you guys here on the Zoom. But yeah, no, definitely. We're going to hold off on that. So a lot of people were asking about the sell. So Clyde asked about the 3-minute daily sell and Charlie as well. So like I mentioned before, guys, I personally wouldn't have taken it because my bias is a buy. But, obviously, like we went over earlier, this 3-minute would have been a perfect entry because it lined up with two different strategies, the 3-minute daily and the pivot scalp. So I don't know who caught it. If you guys caught it, great for you guys, for whoever caught it. Let me check real quick. So a couple of people here actually took the sell. So Sam here took the sell. He locked in some nice profit. He also took the buy there as well. So he's in profit about, nearly $400 right now. Looking at Roman over here, he's been trading cryptos, and he also traded US 30 this morning for the buy. He locked in a total of 3,010. Nice work, Roman. Lisa over here as well. She took buys for US 30. She's in profit a total of 539. Nice work, Lisa. And she said, she was super cautious, went decent phase on, and she's trading on her phone as well because her computer's broken. Brian over here as well, locked in a total of 2,240. Nice work, Brian. Rick over here had a couple accidents this morning, but then he came right back, locked in a total of 1,357. Nice work, Rick. Yeah, Rick said he's done for the minute. Romanio here, locked in a total of 2,259. Nice work, Romanio. And Rick also caught the drop there as well. So we locked in a total of 2,188. So Rick continued to trade. Jeff over here. Yeah, Jeff's currently traveling. He's in Hawaii right now, I believe, on his way back. He locked in a total of 958 this morning. Nice work, Jeff. Dell over here locked in a total of 1,658. So as you guys can see, a lot of people here are just listening to my analysis and they're taking trades off my analysis. Even though I'm not taking trades myself, a lot of people here are just listening to my analysis and locking these trades. Albert here is in profit a total of 2,488. Nice work, Albert. Rick again right here. He said he was done trading, but he kept going. He's in profit a total of 2,892. Nice work, Rick. And Junior over here. So Junior locked in a total of 4,080. So as you guys can see, a lot of people, if you've been in K2 for a while, you guys are able to use my analysis that I'm going over during these live sessions to take trades. I'm not necessarily taking any trades myself. I took one speculative buy earlier, which I made a small profit on when price was swinging up earlier off the 1 minute. When it came up over here, I took a small buy that I mentioned. I was using the momentum pullback strategy right here where I locked in a quick little profit. However, I pulled out of that quickly because I knew that price was getting close to the all-time high. So I went for about 100 pips right there. You guys can see it was a small move with like literally no drawdown. And then I got out, but that's pretty much the only trade I took. It's not an official trade. So I'm not counting that towards any of the wins this week. The only trades that we count as wins are the trades that we actually take live and that I actually, advised that I'm taking. So you just keep that in mind, guys. You guys will see me show a lot of profits. So here, I'm just going to show you real quick because I get a lot of people who try to complain about this. So look, our trades here from last week, right? We only took about 11 trades, right? These are all during the live session. If you guys look at my trades from last week, I took like over 30 trades and I'm not counting all these as wins. because I take these on my own time, right? I took like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 20 trades on this one day. And then, or for that week, I think this was up to Wednesday. So I took like at least like, 30, 40, 50 trades, but they're not counted here on the results. So the only trades that are counted here on the results are trades that we take on the live session. So just keep that in mind. If I'm taking trades on my own, they're not going to be counted here in the profits, just to, clear that up, because a lot of people are, well, not a lot of people, there's probably like one person that's complaining, saying that, I'm taking all these trades and they're upset that they're not taking the trades too. But those trades are taken when we're not on the live session. I can't be live with you guys 24 hours. I got stuff to do too. But just, to clear up the confusion there, if you guys are wondering. Vincent over here locked in a total of 2,136. So he had one big win in there off the buy, looks like, and then he took some small sells here for some small losses. He was just, speculating in the market, but definitely great work right there, Vincent, with your recovery. Gene Vaughn over here locked in a total of 1,431. Nice work, Gene Vaughn. He had a small loss there. Looks like it was a little bit of an accident. Everything else here was some nice wins. So great work right there. Maddie over here as well. Maddie locked in a total of 1,184. Nice work, Maddie. So great profits amongst everyone here. I mean, a lot of people here. Guys, I'll respond to a couple people here later. There's like some personal messages or private messages. If you guys message me on Telegram, I'll get to you guys after the session. But other than that, I will respond to you guys later. So guys, another thing as well. So a lot of people can't find the new indicator. You guys can't search the indicator up. So I just want to remind you guys. So this new indicator here, you have to go under indicators, go to invite only scripts, and then you'll find the indicator on this list. It's going to be the K2 high low indicator. I mean, it doesn't show up on mine because obviously I created the indicator. So it's not going to show up here on mine. But for you guys can't search it. So if you try to search it in the scripts, you're not going to find it because it's a private indicator. And if you go on the K2 page as well on TradingView, you're not going to find it because it's private. They've changed the settings for TradingView where the indicators don't show up anymore on the page if you don't want them to. So if you guys have access to the indicator, just go to your invite only scripts and that's where you guys will find it. All right. Other than that, let's see what's going on with current price. So you can see price is still kind of dancing around this area. It hasn't really moved its direction, right? Price came up, tested this line right here that we drew, and then now price is either gonna go up or it's gonna come back down. Let me just take this off here. I'm gonna clean up the chart because it's kind of messy, just so that you guys can be more focused as to what we're focusing on. So I'm gonna draw this as the high, the low, I mean, and then this is gonna be the high right here. If this right here doesn't get broken within the next 4 or 5 candles, right here, the first requirement. So if 4 or 5 candles pass, so there's 1 candle, 2, 3, 4. If price doesn't break above it, then this will be the new high. However, if price breaks above it, it's not going to be the new high. But you can see price is now currently just ranging within this area right here. Other than that, let me scroll down a little bit to see if I'm missing. Jennifer said, Shawn, in the meantime, do you mind sharing what copy trader do you use or recommend? I use Social Trader Tools. That's the main one that I use. And that's the only one that I have used. So I can't really recommend anything else, but I use Social Trader Tools for my copy. I think that's what everyone else uses too. I've been using it for over a year now. So it works and it works perfectly fine. I haven't had any issues with it. Sometimes there's slippage that happens, but the slippage happens with everything. So if you want to use it, that's the one that we all use. Let me scroll down a little lower. Duggan said, damn, it's a wild swing. I'm sitting out for today. Yeah, and this is what I was mentioning earlier, guys. So this whole week is going to be kind of choppy like this because it is NFP week and there's just a lot of stuff going on in the market behind the scenes. So like I was mentioning before the session, guys, if you guys don't need a trade, don't trade. Only take trades that you guys are really 100% confident about, because if not, then you might get caught in a lot of these crazy spikes in price. So as you can see right here, this technically would be a sell entry using the high-low scalp strategy, but I'm not going to take it because I'm still looking for a possible swing to the upside. Let me just check the fundamentals real quick. Yeah, the fundamentals are still pretty, I mean, they're not very strong bullish, but they're still bullish. It's 52 points in the green right now. So it hasn't even gone down to the red yet. It's still slightly bullish. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 76% short. So I'm still looking for a buy here. Let me just refresh this, see if there's any other new news here. There was some new news at 7 regarding the climate summit. Yeah, it's still going on. So there's live updates right now. It's still going on. And obviously this could affect the market. So looking at this right here, futures are currently up 79 points, not very strong, but it's still bullish. Looking at the daily average, currently 50 points in the green. So this technically right here would have been an entry using the high-low scalp, but I'm not going to be entering it, obviously, because I'm looking for the swing back to the upside. You know, and this is all about patience, guys. Like, you guys have to have patience with trading. You guys can't just try to hop into trades right away without fully analyzing the market. For me, you know, I'm very conservative with my trades. So even though this was a sell entry right here, and it's probably gonna hit TP, yeah, it actually hit it already. It already hit TP. So if you guys caught it, you know, great work. If you didn't, it's fine. But you know, I don't like losing trades, so I'm not going to take any risky trades that are just maybes versus taking trades that I'm absolutely certain about. So this right here would have been a full TP using the high-low scalp strategy. Reason for that is because we confirmed this as a previous swing low. We confirmed price broke and closed past the swing low right there. We confirmed the direction of momentum right here. We had a sell signal, and we confirmed that price wasn't ranging. Price was ranging prior to this drop right here. Because I mean, obviously you can see price was ranging right here, but as soon as price broke below it, it broke out of the range. So with that said, that would have been in full TP right there using this strategy. And, you know, I would have taken it if the sentiment wasn't so low. Like, for example, if this was like maybe 70% or 73%, anything below like 75%, maybe I would have taken it. But right now the sentiment's still high. So I'm still anticipating that swing back to the upside. So it's just a game of patience, right? I don't like taking trades that I'm not 100% sure about. I only take trades that I'm like almost convinced that it's like a guaranteed winner. And that's why I have such a high win rate, guys, because I'm patient. You know, obviously I could have made like 1,000 off that trade right there if I wanted to, but I also could have lost 3,000 if I lost the trade. So I'm not going to go and take that risk. You know, it's all about quality trades here, guys. So yeah, whoever caught it, I mean, big congrats to you guys. There's probably a couple people here who caught it. Yeah, so some people here. So Rick said the new indicator was exactly what I needed. I can't stop trading. So Rick actually took that sell there. The one that I said that was a good trade, or, you know, it was a valid trade, but I wasn't going to take it. Rick here actually took it. So you can see all his profits here off the sells, and he's now in profit 3,519. So Rick is on fire right now. Good job, Rick. So yeah, looks like a lot of you guys here are definitely doing really well. Albert here as well. He's in profit a total of 2,825. Nice work, Albert. Delmas over here as well. Delmas currently up 1,765. You can see Delmas took the sells here as well. So a lot of people are looking for these trades. Delmas knows exactly what we're looking for. And you can see right here, he said high, low, quick sell, quick one. So he took that sell right there. He locked in some nice profit off that. So a lot of you guys are really loving this new indicator, right? This indicator is making a lot of opportunities for you guys here. So Delmas again over here, locked in another sell profit of 1,876. Nice work, Delmas. And here's Samir's markup right here. So he marked up right here as he's seeing the price reject off it, and he's trying to see as it swings back up. So he's looking for exactly what I'm looking for here too. I'm looking for that swing back to the upside, which is, it's going to happen. I mean, eventually it's going to happen. It might not happen today. It might not happen, you know, tomorrow, but it's going to happen eventually. Or it might happen today. Who knows? I mean, you know, we might have that mid-market reversal around like 9 o'clock, because mid-market reversal comes around like 9 or 10. And then he's probably going to cash it as it swings back up. And I'm doing the same thing as well. I'm just waiting for it. Rick said, still doing it manually. Don't know how to place orders. Yeah, no, exactly. Dell said sell stop orders going crazy. You know, definitely. Yeah, I agree with Samir. So Samir said just need a breakout of this newly formed TL. So that's pretty much what we're waiting for there. Let's see, Vincent over here as well. So Vincent took the trade there for a sell. He's in profit a total of 2,391. Nice work, Vincent. He took that sell that we just went over right now off this. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, so Samir drew the trend line right there. You know, it looks good. It looks solid. He has the arrow here pointing up. That's pretty much what I'm anticipating as well. Let me get this up here. So what kind of geometry sorcery is that? So we say ADHD. Exactly. No, same here. All right, guys. So, we're just waiting for entries here. We've already used this low. So this is no longer the low. The new low is going to be down here. And this high is actually moving lower as well. So this high is moving down here. And you can see price is currently ranging, right? Price is now in this range. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to swing back up. Once we get that swing back up to the upside, then we can take this for a trade. There was actually another sell right here too. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but there was a sell using pivot scalp strategy. And that sell right there was right here because we had a valid sell signal. It's below the pivots. You could have entered this for a pivot scalp entry. However, I'm not looking for any sells. So even though we do have entries coming in this direction, I'm personally not looking for sells. If you guys want to take these sells here, you guys are more than welcome. But you guys just want to be careful because it can be a fake out. Because I do expect price to swing back up. But there's a lot of other trades here that are available. It's not just buys. I'm just personally looking for buys here because I do expect it to swing back up. You can see prices now rejecting off the New York session high lows, or the low actually. So this is the New York session high and then the Asia low. So you can see price is rejecting off these perfectly. This might just be prepping for a shoot back to the upside. So you can see there's double bottom right there. And maybe a triple one right here, but we'll see. It's just, for me, it's just a matter of waiting for that swing to the upside. But we do have the highs and the lows marked up here. We have the highs right here, low right here. If this breaks below it, then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is technically going to be another sell entry using the high-low scalp. Right there, if anyone wants to take it. You have to wait for it to close, obviously, but if it does close below that line, this technically would be another sell scalp to the downside. So let's see if there's anything else right here. So we had to wait for this to close. Henry's asking, was the mentoring session recorded? What if so, where can we find it? It's on the YouTube, Henry. Everything that we take, that we go live with is going to be on the YouTube. So let's see. Yeah, what might happen here is price will probably come up and it'll come right back down. What I might do is I might put a sell stop here and I'll just catch it as it swings back down. However, actually, no, I'm not going to. I don't want to trade against the bias. It's just too risky. Yeah, what I might do is maybe I'll set a sell stop here and then just try to catch it for the quick move to the downside. Let's see. No, it's a risky move. Let's see this right here. Yeah, it's just too risky because I do expect it to swing back up. So I'm probably not gonna see. I'm so tempted to enter the sell here. Fuck it, I'll enter from right here. I'm on my stop loss and profit. It's probably gonna pull me out, but it's okay. Let's see. 5, 8, 3, 4. Let's see. 35830. Yeah, so I don't recommend anyone take any risky trades like I'm doing right now. I'm kind of just speculating the market. So I did take a quick sell, but I'm gonna just pull out right here. Lock in a couple $100. I just don't feel comfortable with the with me trading against obviously what my bias is. I'm just going for the quick moves. So what happened was I entered when price pulled back to this area. When I saw this rejection, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna enter real quick. So I entered for a quick sell. And then I pulled out. Just made a couple $100 off it. Nothing crazy. But I don't recommend you guys do that unless you guys know what you're doing. Because you can see price right here is now starting to swing to the upside. Exactly what we anticipated, right? Because I'm looking for buys here, but I do see the sells, appear. You can see price was rejecting off this point, and the things that I was looking out for, I was looking for rejection points. So you can see price came back up here, rejected off here. And then what happened from this point is I just caught it as it dropped a little bit right here. And I literally got out like quickly. So it dropped down, I got in, got out like within a few seconds. That was about it. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else for me to look out for here. And then I mentioned that from the beginning, right? So that's the same reason why I took the other trade earlier. So if you guys remember, I took the small buy earlier and I just got in and out really quickly because I was just speculating in the market because I anticipated price to swing in a certain direction. Obviously, my overall bias is a buy. So I'm looking for buys to swing to the upside still. But if I see some small movements, obviously I'm just going to hop in and out of those moves really quickly without having to risk very much. And you have to be on top of your feet. Like you can't really think about it. That's why it's not something that I would recommend anyone else take. Because for me, it's like, okay, I saw the rejection, entered right away, and then now I'm out of the position. It's not something where I can explain it to you, like why to take this trade, where to set your TP. You just have to think on your feet, especially when you're scalping in such a volatile market like this in the morning. So let me just go down the questions real quick. It's 7:35 right now, so it's getting close to 8, usually the time where I'm done trading for the day. So I'm just going to see if there's anything else here that I'm missing, answer any questions that you guys have, and then we can move on with this session. So let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing as well on my charts. I see there's like 14 messages here on the Zoom. So let me scroll down real quick and see what you guys put here. Rick's asking, Shawn, when you see the new low high come up, do you ever take the pullback from there while it makes a new lower low? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what Shawn, do you, when you see a new low high come up, do you ever take a pullback? I do sometimes. So that's using the variation to the strategy. I'm not sure if you caught on to that. I kind of went over it. Well, I didn't really go over it, but other people see what I'm doing here. There's a way to trade this high-low scalp strategy in both directions. I'm not going to teach you it. I'm not going to teach anyone else it because it's a very risky way to trade. But that's kind of how I locked in all of these wins from that's the other strategy that I'm testing. So if you guys remember the strategy that we went over, or my wins that I showed you guys, like these right here, all of these wins here are from the high-low, actual high-low strategy. These losses here are using the variation, but it's sorry, I'm losing my freaking voice. Oh man, sorry guys. All right, so back to what I was saying. So this strategy, there's a way to trade this strategy in both directions. And I know that you want to learn this, Rick, but I'm not going to teach you or anyone else it because it's just too risky. Yeah, basically, this is one way of trading it, but there's a way to trade it where you can trade the opposite direction, just like I did earlier. There's these quick moves that you can take where you can literally just catch quick profits. Looking at this here, you can see obviously the big wins here, the full ones are going to be the actual high-low strategies, right? Because you're going for the full move. These smaller profits here is where you can scalp a quicker move. For example, here I made 900, 800, everything below 1,000 is basically using the variation. And that's pretty much what Maddie was doing over here. So you can see Maddie said variation at 642 because he understands what I'm doing. A lot of people here actually do understand what I'm doing and they're doing the same thing. So Maddie here locked in that much. A couple other people here are doing it as well. maybe I'll teach you guys. Well, this is what's going to happen, guys. We're probably going to have a different group within K2, like the more advanced traders that can like actually learn this stuff. Not saying that you guys can't learn it, but it's just too risky. And I don't want everyone to be taking, obviously risky trades like that when they're not. Because the thing is, you can get really greedy with this. That's kind of how I got some of these losses over here. Because I started to get greedy with it. I was making so much profit off it, and I just kept doing it when I knew I shouldn't have. And I took these losses here. But that was just me testing the strategy to see how accurate it was. It's very accurate, but it's also very risky. So the main problem with that is if you guys don't have self-control over your trades, or you guys revenge trade, you can easily go to stack up these losses here. Because you can see I never really have back-to-back losses like this. And even right here, these weren't back-to-back losses. There was like a win, a loss, a win. And at this point, I should have not even been trading anymore, but I kept going. So I think what you're asking, Rick, is it pertains to the variation that I apply. So technically I do take the pullbacks or rejections, but there's a specific way to do it. And maybe I'll show you guys eventually at some point, but currently right now, you guys should just stick to what this is right here. And this isn't even out yet. So you guys don't even know what the high-low scalp strategy is. So once I go over this, maybe eventually I'll show you guys a variation. A lot of other people in the group already know what I'm doing. So I think Delmas knows because he's the one that's playing. So I think you did see his profits earlier. Delmas over here, he's been applying it. That's why he has more trades here. Even though there's not that many high-low scalps, Delmas has been applying it himself as well. Other than that, let me scroll down a little bit, see what else I'm missing. Yeah, Delmas right here, he's currently up 1,982. Nice work, Delmas. And let me see what else is down here. Charlie as well. Charlie over here is currently up 419 for the day. Nice work, Charlie. He's trading Bitcoin US 30. So doing pretty good so far right there. Other than that, let me see. Cheryl over here locked in a total of about 2,000 for the week. Nice work, Cheryl. All right, guys. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I think that's it for right now. Yeah, let me see if I could fix this right here. Man, the spread right now is like, I think the spread's like really wide right now for FTMO. Or I could be wrong. All right, let me get back to the questions over here. So let me scroll down a little bit. Jennifer is asking, Shawn, can you show the trend meter settings you use for the 1 minute, 3 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute? I don't use those timeframes. Jennifer, if you're trading on the shorter timeframes, you change them all to the same as chart. So if you go down here, if you're scalping, change these all to the same as chart because the default settings are intraday settings. But if you're not trading intraday and you're just scalping, you just change all these over here to same as chart because you don't really care what's going on 30 minutes from now, right? If you're scalping, you just want to make sure what's going on right then and there. So you would change all of your settings here to same as chart, and that's what your settings should be for this specifically. For the 1 minute, 3 minute, and 10 minute, but I don't use a 30 minutes. I'm not sure where you got that from, but if you're using a 30 minute or anything higher, then you're going to be intraday trading at that point. Scalping is a short time frame, so anything above 10 minutes is probably not going to be considered scalping anymore. That's going to be considered intraday. So if you're intraday trading, then obviously you want to set your settings to intraday settings, like here on the 4 hour. If you're trading intraday, you're going to have this set to this, right? 3 hour, 1 hour, or 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour, because you're looking for where price is going to go, days from now, right? Because if you're trading intraday, you're probably holding on to that trade the entire session, if not like the entire day. So you want to see where the trend is going long term. If you're scalping, you only really care what's happening right then and there. So that's why we have it the same as chart for the 1 minute, 3 minute, and 10 minute. But if you're anything higher than that, then obviously you're not going to be scalping anymore. You're going to be intraday trading, and you want to set that to the intraday settings. So hopefully that helps with that. Let's see what else I'm missing over here. Abraham's asking, hey, Shawn, any way to make No, there's eventually I can, but I can't do it right now. I mean, it looks kind of small on my end. I don't know. Do you have like a really small monitor, Abraham, or you might be trading on your phone? Because it looks fine to me, but I'm not sure if it's too big or too small. The thing is here, guys, like if you guys draw your high lows, just draw your high lows and then turn off the indicator. That's like the easiest thing to do because that's what I do myself. Once you identify where these high lows are, you just need to turn it off and you don't have the clutter on your chart. Because I know that you guys don't like the clutter. I don't like the clutter either. And you don't have to have it open all the time. You know, you'll have it open. If you see the high there, then draw your line and then turn it off because you're going to need to draw a line anyways to identify where those high lows are. So hopefully that helps with that. But yeah, there's no way to change it right now. This is the smallest that I could make it. If you guys see on my screen, it's not really that big. I mean, everyone has a different screen size, but for me, it's like perfect for me, right? So I can't make the adjustments now. I mean, eventually I can, but if I do, I'll have to pull the indicator so you guys won't be able to use it. So I know there's like little things like that that people want to be fixed, but you know, you guys wanted the indicator, so I try to get it out to you guys as soon as possible. If you guys want any changes, I'm gonna have to take down the indicator. So I mean, it's really up to you guys. We could probably put a poll up if that's what you guys want. Then you know, I'll probably have to take it down, and then it'll probably be up maybe a month later once I'm done. Because I have to do a lot of testing. If I'm gonna change that stuff, like even little things like that, you know, I'll have to take the indicator down and then make sure that everything still flows perfectly fine. So, because I did see a couple people complain about that. They wanted, you know, this to be smaller, but the easiest fix to that is just turn it off, right? Draw your line and then turn it off. You don't have to have it on all the time. It's the same with the SR indicator, right? You don't need to have the SR indicator on all the time. I draw my zones and then I turn it off. So that's probably the easiest thing to do. But yeah, maybe I can put a poll in the group. And then if you guys really, if that's like a game changer for you guys, then I can, but I'm going to have to take the indicator back down. So other than that, let me scroll down a little bit and see what else we're missing. Henry, yes, the mentoring session was recorded. So it's always in the same place, guys. The videos never change, right? A lot of people ask if stuff's recorded. Everything is recorded. It's on the YouTube channel. So let me just go over here real quick and I'll just show you guys where it's located. I mean, it's the same, like the videos are always going to be in the same place. They're never going to be anywhere different. So like if you go on the YouTube channel here, it's literally right there. You go to the videos, group mentoring session. It's at the same place it's been for the past 3 years. It's always going to be in the same place on the YouTube channel. If you guys go on the YouTube channel, you guys can see all the previously, you know, recorded sessions right over here. So that's where you guys can find that if you guys are looking for it. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing as we continue. Lisa said, can't wait to get my laptop again and play with the new indicator. Y'all gave me FOMO. Yeah, no, this indicator is fun. I think you'll have fun with it too, Lisa, because it's going to help with a lot of your with your analysis as well. Hiha is asking, do you use the high low or low low on the indicator? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let me read your question again. Do you use the high high or sorry, here, if you could like ask the question again, because I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you use a high low on the indicator? So what this indicator does is that identifies the previous highs and the previous lows, right? So I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's a high high or a low low. It just identifies where the previous swings are. So if you're looking for the swing high, it's going to mark up, you know, the swing high right there. If you're looking for the swing low, it's going to mark up the swing low right there. We're just looking for what the most recent swing highs and swing lows are for this. We're not necessarily looking for a specific higher high or a lower low. If you want to use it that way, you can. I mean, because, you know, some people like to trade in the direction of the trend. If you want to do that, that's completely fine. You can do that. But this indicator is not meant for anything specific like that. It's just meant to identify the previous highs and the previous lows, because this is used in conjunction with the new strategy here that we've been forward testing. So if you want to use it for that, because I know some people like to trend trade. If you want to trend trade, that's completely fine. You can use the higher highs and the lower lows. But I don't personally use it for anything specific like that. I just use it for to identify the most recent swings. So, I mean, there's different ways to use it. You don't have to use it the same way I'm using it, but this is the way I use it. I only use it to identify the most recent swing. So you can see right here, whenever I draw these lines here, I can identify where the range is, right? So like price is now ranging within this area. When price ranges, or when it breaks out of the range, then it'll be moved directional. And then you can just keep drawing higher highs and lower lows that way. But I don't personally use it that way, but you can use it that way if you want. I personally don't use it that way though. All right, scrolling down lower. Kip said the daily entry just confirmed a sell. Dang. So looking at the daily entry over here. Yeah. So this would be the daily entry right here. I'll just delete that because it's from last week. I don't think anyone's in the position. This would technically be the daily entry. However, I'm not going to take it because my bias is still looking for a possible buy long term. What could happen here is, so if you guys want to take this daily, what I do recommend is you guys move your stop loss in profit whenever it reaches these specific areas. So this right here is going to be TP1, obviously. So that's TP1. This will be TP2. I'm not going to take this trade, but if you guys want to take it, I'm just drawing this stuff up on here so that you guys can follow it if you want to. But I don't want to go with the retail sentiment. If everyone's short right now, I'm obviously looking for a long. I'm not looking to trade in that direction because this can easily shift back to the upside at any moment. Just like with Samir's markup, he's anticipating a buy as well. I'm doing the same thing, basically trying to catch that dip. But if you guys do want to take the position, I mean, it's available to you. I'll also set up some alerts here just so that you guys can follow it if you want to. But like I mentioned, all this stuff's going to be at your own risk, guys, because I don't like trading against where the bias is going. So this is going to be daily, 10-minute daily, TP1, 370. And a lot of, well, not a lot of people, but there's like certain people who don't like the fact that I give you guys options, right? I give you guys options here because, I'm telling you that you can take these trades if you want, but you don't have to. So if I'm not taking the trade, I don't think it's a safe trade, and that's why I'm not taking it myself. But it's your account, guys. You guys can do whatever you guys want with your own account. If I'm not taking it, then that's kind of probably a hint that it's probably not going to be a safe trade. But I do see some people get upset because they get upset because I'm giving you guys both coins of the trade, right? So I tell you guys why I wouldn't take the sell, but I also tell you why someone else would take it because it falls under the strategy. That's how you guys have to analyze these things. You guys have to analyze, all your trades from both directions. Even if it's not one that goes in the direction that you want it to go, you should still be analyzing it to identify, where it can possibly push to. So if you guys do take this daily strategy here or the daily entry, when price reaches this point, so when price breaks TP1 over here, you have one of two options. And this is what I try to emphasize to you guys. There's always options, right? There's never one way to trade. There's multiple ways to trade. When price reaches this point, I recommend you use the exit strategy. So move your stop loss in profit or exit the trade in profit, right? Those are your options. You have many options. You can either exit the trade in profit, move your stop loss in profit, or you can just let it be. So you guys have three options there. It's your account. You guys can do whatever you want to manage your position. Me personally, I'm a conservative trader, so I don't like holding on to positions that long. I'd rather move my stop loss in profit. And if I get pulled out in profit, then that's completely fine because I guarantee profits there. And the thing is, this isn't the only trade we're taking. There's like multiple trades that you guys can take. You can be running a 10-minute while running a 3-minute, while running a 1-minute, right? There's different things that you guys can do along the way, but it's just really up to you how you want to manage it. So, just keep that in mind. Other than that, let me scroll down a little bit. Samir said, that thing says, being a trader, like saying, fuck it, I'll enter here. And that's exactly what I did earlier, Samir. So thankfully I entered that sell earlier, even though, we were both looking for a buy and I made a quick profit off it. Let me just check what I made off that trade. Actually, I made 510. It wasn't that much because I went for half the move earlier. So let me scroll down a little bit. Abraham said, I think I know the secret. I tried trading both ways just once, though, was profitable on both. Yeah, no, exactly, Abraham. So a lot of people have been watching what I've been doing with the variation, and it works very well. It's just, it's just a really risky way of trading. Yeah, no, exactly. It would be. So Abraham said, I have a long wide screen. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so Abraham says he has a widescreen. Yeah, because I know there's like little things. So like I released this indicator kind of prematurely. I know I told you guys I was going to release it, so that's why I released it for you guys. But over time, when you get more tips for or not really tips, if we get more input and feedback on the indicator, I can make changes to it. It's just I'm not a coder, so it takes me a while to get this stuff done, and it's a lot of like little things that I need to fix. Obviously my brother does it for me, but in order for me to make the changes, it's going to take me a while because I don't know how to code at all. I just know the very bare basics. Um, let's see. Abraham said it's to the point where it's ranging a bit, catch a break, not exactly, but something similar. Yeah, no, definitely. Sam said, would you draw liquidity zones now for it to swing up? I would, Sam, because the sentiment or actually the sentiment's starting to drop. So with the sentiment starting to drop right here, I don't think the liquidity zones would be as important. Um, but you can. So what you can do is you can draw liquidity zones and then see if it swings back up. However, the retail sentiment is not that heavy now. Usually we'll draw zones when retail sentiment gets like 76% and above, but currently right now it's 72%. So it's not really one-sided anymore as it was earlier in the session. I'm gonna refresh the daily average. It's currently right down the middle too. So there's no bias right now with regard to the fundamentals. It's just kind of down the middle. Looking over here at the actual Dow index is currently half red, half green. So there really is no bias right now. So, I mean, if you want to, you can, Sam, but I don't think everything's going to point directly to the upside. What happened earlier was that it established a new all-time high, and then it just came right back down, but I do expect it to swing back up. So the daily over here just hit TP1. So like I mentioned, guys, if you guys want to move your stop loss and profit, I recommend it. If you don't want to, then it's completely fine. It's your guys' account. You guys can do whatever you want. But I'll just give an update here because it seems like some of you guys did take the daily trade or the daily entry for today. So I'll just give you guys a little update here. Uh, 70. All right, so the updates are posted over here. It's up to you guys. If you guys want to move your stop loss and profit, move your stop loss and profit. If not, then that's completely fine. Delmas over here just posted his profits right now. So he took a couple trades there. It looks like he's just catching as it continues to drop lower. He's in profit a total of 2,117. Nice work right there, Delmas. And that Maddie over here too. So Maddie just took the variation entry right there. He's in profit a total of 4,139. So as you guys can see, these are Maddie's profits from this morning. Earlier this morning, he had 1,184. He took another one. He's in profit a total of 4,139. So definitely great work right there, Maddie. Maddie's been waiting for this indicator for so long. He's been waiting. So Delmas over here, like another one. He just had another win. So guys, it's key here that you guys are paying attention to what I'm saying during these live sessions. I'm not like just saying random things, right? I'm giving you guys actual analysis as to what I see in the market, and people are able to make moves off that. And if you guys are new here and you guys don't really understand what I'm going over, just give it time. The more and more that you guys sit in on these live sessions, the more and more you'll understand, because I'm going over the same thing every single day. It's just me reiterating the information over and over again because the same pattern just repeat itself. So if you guys are able to catch what I'm saying here, you guys are able to catch moves without me even having to take the trade. Because for me, I don't like losing trades. So for me, I'll take trades that are almost guaranteed to hit. But a lot of the analysis that I give here works whether you want to be a risky trader or not. A lot of people here obviously are riskier traders, and you guys trust everything that I say, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? It's a good thing if you use it properly. It's a bad thing if you use it and you get greedy, because then you're going to keep taking trades that are too risky. But yeah, other than that, let me scroll down a little bit. You said, I love the new indicator and it will give so much opportunities on both ways. No, definitely. Yeah. And see, that's the key here, guys. It's the key that you guys see the possibilities with these indicators. These indicators aren't meant to be used one way, right? If you trade a certain way, then they could be used perfectly fine. Just like with what he was mentioning earlier. He was mentioning that if I use the lower lows and the higher highs, I personally don't use it that way. But if you just follow this here, if you saw the lower high and the lower lows, if you see price going down this direction, this is going to indicate a strong push to the downside, right? So if you were taking trades here and price was going down, you could have made a lot of profit just entering sells here, but I don't trade that way. You guys can trade that way, but it's up to you guys how you guys want to experiment with the new indicator. But I think it'll be beneficial for you guys regardless as to how you trade, because this can be used so many different ways. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here, guys. It's already 8 o'clock, so I'm usually off by 8. Unfortunately, we didn't have very many trades that we could have taken that I considered to be safe. Reason for that is because the market is just not moving smoothly. There's a lot of things going on in the market, so right now it's best to be safe. For one, we have NFP. For two, it's the first of the month, and for three, we have the climate summit that's going on this morning as well. Looks like, let's see, I think they might be done with this the climate summit. The last update was 43 minutes ago, but who knows? They might still be talking. So my advice to you guys is, if you guys want to keep trading, be careful. I'm still looking for the pushback to the upside. I know that the sentiment now has kind of dropped a little bit, but I still think the push to the upside is still coming. So what I'll do is I'll be looking for possible buys. I mean, obviously, I'll take sells if they come up and they look good, because I already took a sell earlier and I was kind of like, I just YOLO'd it, enter that trade. But I mean, for the most part, I think price is going to swing back up. So my bias right now is still a buy, even though the fundamentals aren't very strong. My bias right now is still a buy. It's only up 3 points. Okay, so Joe Biden is now speaking. So you guys want to be careful. You know what happens when Biden speaks. So he's currently speaking right now. President Joe Biden addresses delegates at the COP26 Climate Summit. So, I mean, I don't know what he's going to talk about, but you guys already know it's going to happen when, Fahad said a climate summit is going to go on for the next 2 weeks until November 12th. Yeah, so it's always going to be, it's going to be very, very tricky trading during this time, especially when Biden's speaking. Biden will say things and the market will just go haywire, and especially it's NFP. So it's just going to be a lot, pretty risky. Yeah, no, definitely. So Samir said, good seeing you, Shawn. Let's be good. Let's get this money. No, definitely 100% Samir. Samir's been killing it. If you guys aren't in the options group, I don't trade options anymore. I used to trade options like a long time ago. But Samir runs the options group. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but if you guys like to trade options, you guys can join the K2 options group. It's just, t.me/K2 options. So if you guys go here, Samir is dropping like gems every single day. If you guys have seen his accounts here, he's killing it. He's using TD Ameritrade over here. It's the one that I used to trade. And that's kind of cool that you guys are trading Lucid. I've been holding Lucid for like a couple months, actually, Samir. When I heard that they were going to start dropping the retail card. So I actually made a lot of profit off that. I bought like, I think 2,000 or 3,000 in shares for Lucid, and I'm just holding it for the next couple months. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, here, guys, I'll put the here, Henry. I'll put the link there. It's t.me/K2 options. So it's right there. It's just the same thing. It's just K2 but options at the end. And as you guys can see, price is starting to swing its way back to the upside. So guys, I think that's it for the session. It's 8 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys do have questions, feel free to message me or email me. Just keep in mind, let me just check my emails. I've got about 1,000 emails from over the weekend. It's just a lot of questions from people regarding the new indicator and stuff like that. So if you guys do email me, you probably won't get a response from me until tomorrow. However, the Telegram messages, you message me on Telegram, it'll probably take maybe like by the end of today for me to get back to you, because it's just, I got so many messages over the weekend and I haven't been online all weekend, so I haven't gone back to anybody. But if you guys did message me over the weekend, or you guys message me on Telegram, I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. I was just really busy trying to get this indicator up, and now that it's up, I can now focus on answering questions. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. Hopefully tomorrow moves a lot smoother so that we can catch more moves. But this is what you guys might want to be looking out for US 30, a pushback to the upside. So if you guys want to continue to trade, use a smaller lot size, or always remember to protect your position at all times. So see you guys later, and I'll catch you guys on the next